may think that this idea, what I think started.
Hey guys, this is the XRP cowboy. That's an X. Hey, this is Billy. My fucking roadies. How you living? Ha ha ha. You living large. Because you're the chosen ones. My dreamers. You know? Every day I go to sleep feeling comfort, knowing that one day I will soon wake up to life-changing wealth. And I didn't just say that. Well, I was talking to him, Billy. I was talking to Joel Katz and David Schwartz, and he pretty much confirmed that that would happen. He even gave me a story about how it could happen. But, you know, we're not here for this. I'm going to play some digital asset investor who won't recognize the fucking cowboy as being the fucking only cowboy for fucking crypto, but that's okay. I'm just a little sad about it. But cowboy crypto is awesome, you know. I'm not bashing him. I just don't like that DAI won't even mention my name, you know. But let's in this, I'm gonna say, call it an adage. It's not that I'm disagreeing with him. I'm just adding more information, you know, to support what the information he's like providing. So let's get into this. Across the town, the young girl plays guitar. In a government yard, she whispers from afar. Baby, you cry too much. I'm tired of your sound. You're such a baby. Baby, baby, baby. Let's listen. I wrote some things down too, a little punch list.
Starlink is about is two things.
Well, I think it's about multiple things now, but I think that one of the things is having nodes on satellites across multiple countries so that we can have a trustless financial system. But it's also about having internet access so that you can bank the unbanked who don't have internet access, and you need them to have it on a phone, a mobile device that you can beam the signal down to, and then you have yourself unbanked.
Now, with that being said about a mobile phone, a little bit of history. You know, it's funny how technology leaps. Like you have these third world countries, you know, who don't have much, and they didn't have like internet in their house. They didn't have computers or laptops, but yet they all have mobile phones. You know, it's like it leaped ahead. And that mobile phone cured a lot of friction, like internet in your house because they could get it from their mobile phone. You know, all sorts of things. And now there's this opportunity, and I know he's implying that there's like no internet for these third world countries, but I would say there is internet for cell phones, which means there's internet. Just a lot of them don't have internet in their homes. But there are ones that don't as well. So I'm not disagreeing, but you know, it's interesting. And this whole video, the different points I talk about will all coincide with the narrative of what we're talking about right now, like this tattoo and the date and satellite, you know. Let's get into this.
People, and they're all of a sudden banked. If you look at Brad Garlinghouse's tattoo closely, this ring right here, look at the dots. I've seen those dots. I think those dots are Starlink. Don't take my word for it. This is actually someone looking up into the night sky, because this is something I've covered before too. This is actually somebody looking into the night sky, and you'll see the Starlink. It's a trail of satellites. These are Starlink satellites.
So now Elon Musk is linked, right?
Right here. See them?
But let's say this. Elon Musk is linked here. But he was also linked with his partner, Peter Theo, I believe his name was, who invested in Ripple, and at the early days, and you could argue was one of the founders. But in fact, I think you could Google that. He was one of the founders. But, that was Elon's partner. And Elon, at the beginning stage, wanted to do payments. And he spoke of something very similar to crypto back then. And Peter Thiel was also an early investor in Ripple. Maybe one of the founders, right? And I don't mean founders like of the technology. I'm saying investors. That's the founders. But so that's kind of ironic. But also it's kind of ironic that you could argue Ripple wasn't here for PayPal to invest in. If we want to dare say that. You could actually say PayPal was doing, the ideology was there before Ripple. With payments. I don't know the timeline for XRP. But with PayPal, but what I do know is I'm pretty confident that the idea with Elon Musk was here before XRP. Unless you go back to David Schwartz in '88 with his patents and stuff. I mean, it's like looking into a infinity mirror, right? But let's get into this.
And I think that's exactly what he's got on his arm. Look, I've said for a long, long time that I believe that both XRP and XLM, I think there's a reason that they have an X in them. I think there's a reason that Stellar,
the logo maybe
had a
for Stellar
constellation on their website for so long.
Jason Kidd saying an intergalactic currency when he got into Ripple, who worked for the SEC.
It was this globe.
It's all space, right?
Wrong thing. It was a globe.
Notice that
just
X
like
logo.
This. It had this design.
So this is a satellite, this logo, in space. If you look at the tail to the right, it's moving forward. And then the X that crosses from the top left to the bottom right, they're like the big panels on the satellite. It's a satellite, the logo for Twitter. And he's saying he wants to have the Everything app and change payments. And Elon's gone into great detail about changing all payments in, the fucking universe, right? World. So it's interesting. And he's clearly linked to crypto. Remember, there's non-disclosures. But it's just odd that my buddy showed something that Elon posted about some shit years ago and how it correlated with BG123. And something he said, named. It's just interesting. It's interesting that the bearable guy showed photos, paintings, we found out, that were in Brad Garlinghouse's house. Now, you can say, oh, he got him because of that. No, he didn't. It's ridiculous. And all the other stuff that he put up before it happened that was like literally identical to what he stated. So it makes you wonder, And it also makes you wonder about the proper party comment Brad Garlinghouse made. Like, if you look up the definition legally, it's interesting, calling it the proper party. And I don't know who that was. Probably digital asset investor that brought that out to my attention, but it was someone that brought it to his. That's how it works, right? But it's interesting. So we got a satellite logo for Twitter. We've got something called XRP, the XRP ledger that won't go down even with an internet outage, which is weird. And we've got like, validators, whatever the fuck they're called, in a bomb shelter. So it's almost like if everything got destroyed, all the validators, because there was such a war that there would be so much death and everything that wasn't protected by a bomb shelter got destroyed, they could still send payments and whatever the fuck they want to do for the survivors, the few that survived. It's just really odd and fucking crazy, right? It's like fucking these motherfuckers are really smart, But it's weird. So they'd have to have, they could only do that with a satellite. And then you have Elon Musk with satellites. Starlink, that's connected directly to Ripple and XRP. Let's keep going. You have a satellite logo. You have Stellar. Space logo.
This is just a Starlink logo somebody put over the top of it. But that's what Ripple's website looked like. And I used to comment about how the nodes, you could see that the nodes were coming up, and it looked like they were coming up into low orbit. That's what this has always been about. Mm-hmm. How do you have how do you get China, Russia, and all these countries?
It's all about a new financial system.
To go into a new financial system and where they can all.
Because if you don't have satellites, and they could take out satellites too, but they could take out your internet so fast, and it's almost like you're helpless. It's like, it's like pushing play on a video and it's there, but it's not loading, So if you take out, that's what's going to happen with all of our technology. And I mean, it just, at the very least, they could take out our economy, financial system through having no internet. We need these satellites. And the idea is they're going to have so many that they can't take them all out at one time. But let's keep going. I mean, this is cryptocurrency, digital assets, whatever you want to fucking call it, is so much bigger than money. It's so much bigger than payments. It's a lot of security and a lot of like surviving, like there's a term for it, but cash warfare. It's about that, and or economical warfare, but it's more than that. It's about like safety, security, protection for your lives, and we can say why that, if it was just an economical thing, how lives are lost if economies are down. There's so much, it's like financial wars harm so many people, so many. So let's keep going.
Where everybody can trust each other across the world. Well, they have to have nodes in Russia and China. They have to have them underground. They have to have them on land in their financial institutions, their government institutions. And they also have to have them on their satellites, and the U.S. would too. This way, everybody is honest, because you have what I have termed controlled decentralization. In other words,
I don't feel like that.
You get 100 for your country. We have 100 over here. You get X number on your satellites. We get X number on our satellites.
Digital asset.
So this is connecting the dots, literally, folks.
It'll be about leverage, like it always is.
And I don't think I'm wrong on this one. A lot of people said I was, but I don't think I'm wrong. Darren is a pretty darn sharp guy. Okay, he says the riddle is easy: Starlink plus XRP.
Yeah, I get it. That's what we've been saying. So let me go through my punch list so you guys can go to bed or whatever. It's like 2 in the morning here. Oh yeah, like that tattoo Brad has a date, and I believe that was when XRP got cleared. You notice how it doesn't? I didn't see any Ripple logo on there. Isn't that weird? But bottom line is that wasn't it wasn't just about the date. You saw the satellites, you saw XRP, and you saw the globe or whatever the hell it was, the sun. Who knows? But the universe, or whatever it is. You know, maybe those dots were just planets in it. But who knows? Who cares? I think that like date represented um, the date of the new financial system, the start of it. These things aren't going to happen like instantly, but whatever. And I think X or Twitter is involved in it because of their Starlink, and they are a government company. Hence, like the Cybertruck that's bulletproof and all these things, and you've got like I think the big three producing some for military, but it all ends up with Tesla, because they're quiet vehicles that can, you ride and use solar power to charge, and they're fucking they sneak up on the enemy, because they're not loud. But it's almost like it's a military contract, and then they took away from NASA with their rockets. I mean, and then they always survive. Tesla, when it should have failed so many fucking times, they're the chosen ones. Elon is Batman. So whatever. I mean, it's X with a satellite logo in space. Very interesting. I mean, Elon Musk got into this with payments, and he's going to leave this world with it. He never fully accomplished what he wanted to. Or maybe his brilliance, it was all planned from the beginning where it was going to end. What if Elon's a bigger player than people know? I mean, he's surprised us many of times. How, even, okay, let me read this. Right? 2 years. That's scary. I put 2 years down. Oh. You guys, this is some good news about price. I was looking at the XRP chart from its all-time highs to its current position. I posted on Twitter, and then I looked at Bitcoin price chart from its all-time highs when XRP had its, not its all-time in history, but the first time when it hit like 20K. And XRP hit all-time highs. I was doing a comparison. And XRP is delayed, and it had longer delays because of a lawsuit. But it was just stretched out because of that. But the charts, on top of each other are identical. Like, it's funny because even though there was that lawsuit, it still fit into what Bitcoin did on its way from 20K down all the way up to 60K, something K. If you just look at them, to where Bitcoin went to 60K and where we're at right now with XRP, it might feel a little more stretched out, but the patterns are the same. Even, everything from it running to $2 to $1, everything. So it implies, the same thing will happen. It would have been a tighter chart if this lawsuit wasn't dropped, because we would have went to, $12 with 3x previous all-time highs, just like ETH pretty much did, and Bitcoin, 20 to 60. So the question is what are we going to do next? But I wanted to say it's been 2 years since the last, the market was at like its highs. And the price started dumping. Well, if you're a holder, you lost money because of that. But you know why it dumped? It was because the traders did, or swing traders, or intelligent investors, really. They sold all the way down to it dropping back to like 20K or whatever it dropped back to. from the 60, 22, 25. I don't remember, but it bounced off its previous highs of 20K. So it must have went to 19 or 18 something, because I think that was the true all-time high. Depends on how you measure it. But so what people don't understand is between that 18K and that 67K, everybody that sold, a lot of these people made a lot of money, and it's on the sideline now. Or they moved it somewhere to do like a swing investment. But that money's there. And a lot of it's in these people that sold at 60, 50, 40, 30. They're like, hey, I might as well jump back in and get, same amount of shares for less or more shares for the same amount. But that money still exists, and it will come back into this market. They're just waiting patiently because it's a smart money. They don't care if they're waiting to get another 10% down and miss it. They don't like it, but they don't care paying 10% higher. And they're going to make their decision based off of the technical analyst, T&A, tits and ass, charts. So it's a risk reward. They're in the money. They don't have anything to lose. And if they lose it, it doesn't drop 10%, it goes up 10%. And I'm not saying 10% is the number, but it's validated that it's bullish. They're going to jump in, and it's a sure thing, What I'm saying is they'd rather lose 10% than gain 10% on a sure thing. It's a high quality problem that's a win-win, So you got that. I don't know. Let's see where we go in the next month.